New York got the formula. UK got the formula.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You seen what he did on Facebook, right? I read New York.
And they said, I'm gonna make a motherfucking emoji like this, look.
Melody Beyonce Production.
I read New York.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. All the guys want, I want what Mayweather got. I want what Mayweather got. You done bust your ass like Mayweather.
It was ball. No fight.
My life has always been a fight. I sacrificed a lot to get to where I got to.
You don't think you're being overly critical to a guy that took a body shot and didn't go down?
That's no question. That's just my style. My style is to dominate. I want to get the guy. I want to stop the guy. You know, my motto is man down.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Why you mad?
My goal is to inspire women like me.
Why you mad, baby? Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I'm your host, Nes GTO, joined alongside Michael Gross, who's experiencing a severe winter storm. He's got on his whole, hoodie on and everything in over here, but it's going down. We got world-renowned trainer Ronnie Shields, who trains Efe Ajagba, Jermall Charlo, formerly trained Jermall Charlo, Edwin Rodriguez, Arthur Spielka. I mean, the list goes on and on. A very special treat for you boxing fans today. We'll have him in about 26 minutes. So tell a friend to tell a friend. We wanted to schedule it this way to give everybody enough time to get here and, get your questions in order. And if you want to have any of your questions asked and answered, head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice and click on the Ask Ronnie Shields a Question post. You can find that right here on YouTube on our community page. We put the link there as well. So head on over to patreon.com and get your question submitted in time before Ronnie gets here in about another 26 minutes. But I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. And we will be live with Ronnie Shields, world-renowned trainer. In a few, we'll be talking everything from Erislandy Lara, getting out of the WBC VADA. What's that called? VADA anti-doping. And, right down to how well is Jermall Charlo doing in camp, as Ronnie was on his way to Jermall Charlo's camp when I spoke to him earlier. So, we got tons of stuff. I mean, Efe Ajagba, just so many people to ask Ronnie all about, plus upcoming fights. But let me throw it over to main man, the Gross guy.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Two attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss. Two to stand over. Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yo, what's going on, baby? We back. Ronnie Shields on the show. Hey, I'm glad to have him. I gotta ask him, where did he learn to teach that jab at? Because all those fighters seem to have that nice, crisp, hard jab. Jermall, Efe, even that Russian kid that fought on Showbox. I forget his name. I don't know if he's Russian, but he's definitely Eastern European. But yeah, excited to see what's going on with Erislandy Lara, and just pick his brain and get some cool jewels maybe.
Yeah, man, me too, man. I am happy to announce that I will be in Ronnie Shields' camp tomorrow. Unfortunately, Jermall Charlo will not be there. He has a PBC engagement that he's flying out to today after training. But Efe Ajagba is going to be available. So I'm going to go to Houston and check out Efe. And on the community page right here on YouTube, I put an Ask Efe Ajagba a Question post on Patreon with the link right here on the communities page. So you could just go to the community page, click that. It'll take you to Patreon, and you can go ahead and ask your question to Efe, whatever it is that you want to ask him, since he is, fairly new to the heavyweight scene and to the boxing scene, right? I mean, his Nigerian descent, and we'll get more information, obviously, from Ronnie, but yeah, Mike, I mean, I'm really excited about this one. Not much footage of Efe out there. I don't know if it's me, but maybe you do a YouTube search on your side of the world and see what comes up. But like, I did a YouTube search on my side, and it was like really only, PBC stuff or kind of like fight highlights, like no gym work, nothing, nothing that we're used to from these fighters. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'll take this opportunity to, see if I can't add that content that is lacking from this heavyweight prospect, because people are high on him. But, you really just don't see anything in the gym. Like, I don't see anything on YouTube, him hitting the bag, nothing. It's just like either announcements, fight highlights, people, discussing his fight, but not him actually working out. So
if you follow him on IG, you'll see all that kind of shit, man. He be hitting the bag. He's very active on his IG page to come and like think about it. And also, sorry for my absence. I had to go turn off the heat because it makes a noise that Ness can apparently hear in the background. So hopefully he doesn't hear it now.
I don't hear anything now.
All right, so I just turned it off, and that's why, hence the jacket. Okay,
my boy freezing over there.
Jokes, you know what I'm saying? I just trying to be as sound quality as possible. So hey, it's off. But back to Efe, man. I've been big on Efe for the shit. I guess since I fucking started with this fucking boxing thing. I know last year I was listening to another show, and the guy brought up Efe Ronnie Shields had a heavyweight that was badass, and I started looking him up, and yes, he was a 2016 Rio Olympian too, and also the guy can fucking punch, he can fucking hit, and seems to have skill. Also, he has an 88-inch reach, bro. That's like maybe
I might end up moving to Houston, bro. Efe, I don't know, man. He might be a little undercover popular dude.
Ah, bro, his
highlights with Curtis Harper. Is Curtis Harper the one that walked out? Nah, he knocked out Curtis Harper.
No, Curtis Harper is the one that walked out.
Yeah, that shit is almost at 1 million on YouTube on the TV channel. Yep, 882,000 2 months ago too. So that's good. But anything that he does have on the internet has great numbers. Fairly popular guy. What it looks like.
When he fought Curtis Harper, he had, I believe, 2,000 Twitter followers. Now he's at like 16,000. So got a nice little boost from that.
Yeah, I remember when that stuff happened with Curtis Harper. The next day he was around somewhere like 13, so he's gained a few more. There's another Nigerian working out of the Plex gym, and he, posts a lot of social media things with Efe. So I wonder, will he be in town? And can we get to?
Hey man, everybody's saying, "Hey man, come to Texas, man. Come to Texas. Come to Texas. Come to Texas."
Well, I am. I just said I'll be there tomorrow.
I'm just, they're just like happy. I guess they're happy to like see that you're coming.
I'll be there tomorrow. Hopefully one of you guys got the bug.
Yeah, I'm touching down tomorrow. Meet me at the airport.
Fam. Fall back. Hopefully one of y'all got that fire for the kids. So once I touch down, it's Blaze season. But just in case my backup peoples, I already let them know I will be in town. I get there early, man. So I'm sad, bro. I'm sad that Jermall not gonna be around. I hit up Jamel to see if he'd be around, even though I know he's all the way like 4 hours away and shit. I hit Derek James too, like, bro, I'm gonna be around. He just opened up a new gym. So that's interesting. I wonder, I wonder, did they abandon that gym that Earl came up in now that Derek got his own gym?
No, maybe.
Yeah.
Never knows to the the footage start coming out about where they're training at. But yeah, I mean, hey, is Lara gonna be down there by any chance?
You know, I ain't even asked because Laura. We'll ask him in a few minutes here, but I ain't even asked. You know how it is with Laura, man.
No, I don't.
Yeah, well, that's why. You know what I'm saying? You just jumping on like dudes like me. See, Laura been doing what Lomachenko and them doing. He been doing that. He been doing that. So like, I'm almost tired of Laura because he's like a good boxer, but sometimes he's just like not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like he got the Canelo fight and kind of didn't do enough. It was controversial. Some people had him winning, but like he kind of didn't do enough. He ran, you know what I'm saying? He was using his legs a lot. Same thing in the Angulo fight, using the legs a lot. Got dropped like 2 times. You know what I'm saying? He got that shot. He landed the straight left, bang. And it finished Angulo. But you know, it's been rough for Laura, man. He hasn't necessarily been like what we exactly thought he would be, you know. Once upon a time, and I think I still want to see it, but he was calling out Triple G a lot, and Triple G's promoter, they wouldn't give him the time of day. They said that he needed to move up and actually get a fight if he wanted to fight Triple G at 60, which was unfair because, you know, Triple G had 4 other 54-pounders, less credible, with less accolades, you know. Laura deserved an opportunity to move up and face a champion, much like other champions move up and face a champion. But we haven't seen Laura since April when he lost to Jarrett Hurd. So, you know, we'll find out from Shields. Is he in the gym? What's he been doing? But, you know, Laura is 35 years old. He's got almost 200 rounds boxed. He's right at 200 rounds. He's at 199. And you know that he's got a lot more wear and tear than you think because he's a Cuban amateur who defected. So, you know, he's been in that ranks for so long. But it's like I say, he's been at this level for very long, you know. Like, bro, I think this is like maybe his 10th fight or something like that, if you check. But he fought Grady Brewer. You know, that's like a long time ago. In 2009, he fought that dude. Mind you, that dude upset Fernando Guerrero when Guerrero was undefeated prospect, signing Heyman, selling 8,000 tickets in Maryland, you know, training with Barry Hunter, all that in a bag of chips. I was even behind him. I never got behind him like, oh, he world beater, but he was Dominican. And it's like, yo, I'm going to get behind my dude the way the UK dudes get behind their sheep. So I got behind my dude, and yeah, man, Brewer knocked his ass out. He tried to go down from 60 to 54, still as a prospect. They tried to tell him that was the move to make, which I still feel that was the move to make because, yo, he was small for the middleweight division. If you watch this fight with Peter Quillen, Peter battered him because he was so small. Everybody battered him essentially because he was so small for middleweight. But yeah,
had 6 consecutive title defenses before he ran into Jarrett Hurd, and would have had more than that, but he ran into Canelo.
Yeah, I mean, but those 6 title defenses, it's like, you know, it was like Ishe, and he ain't do what Jermall Charlo did to Ishe. You know what I'm saying? Wait, no. Jermall ain't do that to Ishe. He did that to K9 Bundridge. My bad. Nobody really did much to Ishe except, let's see, who did anybody knock out? You know, Daniel Jacobs even had a tight fight with Ishe. I bet you never even knew he fought Ishe.
Did not. I didn't know Ishe was a 160.
He wasn't. They fought at 50. Well, you know, he moved up for the opportunity. Ishe was no different than the Contender Series guy because he was on the Contender. You feel me?
Gotcha. Yeah,
Ishe had the tough ride out. You know what I'm saying? He was signing Lou DiBella early on. He wasn't always a Floyd boy. You know.
Damn, Daniel didn't stop him. He got a UD.
Nah, I mean, I don't think Ishe ever been knocked out.
I don't think so. I'm looking at the resume right
now. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like Ishe, you know what I'm saying? No world beater.
Nope.
You know I'm saying? Shout out to Ishe, though. He became world champion. I think he beat K9 Bundridge for the IBF title or whatever.
Never been knocked out.
But you talking about Ishe, 54-pounder. Delvin Rodriguez, 47, 54-pounder. Jan Zavik, 47-pounder. Vanez Martirosyan, 54-pounder. Yuri Foreman, 47-pounder. Terrell Gachet, just not on that level. Jared Hurd, big boy, got the loss. You see the track record here? You know what I'm saying? Saul Alvarez, big boy, got the loss. You know what I'm saying? That's that. Paul Williams lost. That was a robbery. He beat Paul Williams. You know what I'm saying? He beat Paul Williams, and they gave him a majority loss decision that he would deserve the win. Those referees were suspended indefinitely. They never got their jobs back for that bullshit.
What about the draw with Carlos Molina? Was that
Carlos Molina? He lost that fight. You leave it to the hardcore fight fans that watch that fight live on ESPN Friday Night Fights like I did. I was a Lara fan from very early in. I don't know. So I didn't really see Molina beat him. Was it super tight? Yeah. Could I see people say Molina won? Yeah. There's an argument.
Okay.
There's an argument. But yeah, Molina, that's the same Molina Josh Kelly beat. But again, different Molina. That Molina at that time, you know, he was beating the shit out of James Kirkland after this fight. He beat the brakes off of James Kirkland. James Kirkland only won because Molina's trainer stepped into the ring. So that disqualified him.
What?
Yeah. See, that's why you got to know all the asterisks. Mind you, after that fight, TBV made headlines because Yahoo Sports picked up my interview that I did live on the show with James Kirkland, where he alleged that Ann Wolf slipped him 2 black pills before the fight. They had him looking all woozy, and hence that's why Carlos Molina put hands on him.
What? I thought him and Ann Wolf had a good thing.
Yeah, they had a good thing, then it turned bad, then it got back good. They relinked, but
I can't get back good when you slip me two.
Well, because they relinked, you know what I'm saying? They
Look here.
even when he fought Canelo, she didn't even take him back, but she wished him the best, you know what I'm saying? We got an interview where we talked to her about it.
Okay.
And she wished him the best. You know, we got 11 minutes before we get world-renowned trainer Ronnie Shields, who's right now busy in training camp in Houston at the Lions Den with Jermall Charlo, getting them ready. Jamal's going to be taking a flight out and doing some PBC promos. So Ronnie will be ending that training camp for the day, getting with us, and then tomorrow opening the doors to the Efe Ajagba camp. If you want to ask Ronnie or Efe Ajagba or Erislandy Lara a question, head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Click on the post, ask trainer Ronnie Shields or ask heavyweight Efe Ajagba, and let's, get these questions answered for you guys. So yeah, we scheduled Ronnie for about another 10 minutes. We wanted to, have about 30 minutes just to discuss back and forth, me and Mike, and obviously you guys, all things Ronnie, and give him an opportunity to close up camp with Jermall. But Mike, man, I mean, what direction you plan on taking it?
You know me, I want to know about the heavyweight. I want to see what's the plan they got for him for next year, of course. He's fighting again this year, is he?
Yeah, FA's on the December 22nd card or the December 22nd card.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know who his opponent is, but
I wonder if he got an opponent yet. Yeah, because last time I spoke to Ronnie, they didn't have one. It was still TBAs.
I just want to know when they plan on taking that next step up. And like, I mean, I know Curtis Harper, you know what I'm saying? He was a guy, but I don't really know what I'm saying.
I mean, from everything I spoke with Ronnie in the past, and then those things could have obviously changed, and we'll find out today in about another 9 minutes. But he said that FA is young, which he's only 24 years old, and they're not gonna rush him. They're not gonna rush him. They're not thinking about world titles this year or next year. So. This year's almost over, 2018. And look, PBC's kept him busy. He's had 4 fights this year, and he'll have a 5th one December 22nd. So, he's doing good.
I'm not saying like a world title, but
already in the world as well, and number 1 in Nigeria, obviously. But there's only 4 other heavyweights in Nigeria.
I wouldn't mind seeing him against like a guy like a Charles Martin type, just to, what I'm saying, gauge what kind of fighter he is or can be. Also, I mean, he can go over there, get him some of that UK stuff too. Give him Give him a Dave Allen or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Give him somebody that has a name, but it's not like necessarily like a world beater. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure.
Charles Martin, Amir Mansour, Gerald Washington. I mean, I would like to see shit, to be honest with you. Andy Ruiz said he can't get a fight. Shit. You want a real fight? Fight him. Junior Fa. I mean, that'd be a good fight for him too. You got so many like potential matchups that not necessarily like at the top of the top, but could be a good fight for him. And also, I think next year maybe the WBSS might do like a heavyweight tourney. It might have like not the top tier heavyweights, but like the ones in the middle or like the lower tier heavyweight. So that could be something that he can.
Good. I mean, look, it's like we talked about yesterday with the Contender. You know, these networks need to take advantage of these type of programming. I mean, the World Boxing Super Series is obviously something that's working. It has us entertained. I mean, it can slip away from you though, because not everybody is a name, you know, or someone you know. But the heavyweight division produces knockouts. And I think that is a division that should have been thought about from the very beginning. I mean, over the bantamweight division, surely.
I mean, I think Sarlin, he said something about it, but I don't think they wanted to like pull the trigger on it this year. But I'm thinking he was leaning towards the next round, but I mean the next go around. So I'll be looking forward to like, I mean, these tournaments are like good and they pay the fighter good. So like with heavyweights, I mean, you know, you're gonna get some knockouts, you're gonna get like some wars. I mean,
I like that it fills the schedule. I like that we know when they're fighting, that they know when they're fighting. Everything is, you know, I guess properly done, bro. You know, I mean, it's not huge promotion, but once you're following it, you get to see everything you need to see, and I think you stay updated. DAZN also does a good job of, you know, highlighting upcoming events in like a yellow border and reminders tab. It's pretty cool.
For up and coming heavyweights and like the heavyweights that like are on like a second chance, like a Parker or like maybe a Dillian White after he gets knocked out by AJ or Wilder, again, like that would be like a good tourney for like them to be back on the path to like getting their name back. And also with the Muhammad Ali trophy, I mean, you know, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, who wouldn't want to have that big ass trophy in their house and be like, hey, I was a former heavyweight champion and also I won this WBSS Muhammad Ali trophy, which is one of the biggest damn trophies I ever seen in my life.
All right, just got the message from Ronnie. He's ready.
All right.
He's ready. So let me just go ahead and connect him. And yeah.
Real quick before we get Ronnie on, y'all go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. We try to bring y'all interviews every day, day in, day out. So if y'all like it, we love it. I ain't gonna let it be no silence though. You know what I'm saying? So while you're smashing that thumbs up button, go ahead and head over to ThaBoxingvoice.com and click on affiliate sponsors and check out some of those hyperlinks and bookmark them.
All right, so we're live with Ronnie Shields, world-renowned trainer. Ronnie, how are you, man? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, man. How you doing?
We're good. We're good. Happy to have you, man. First and foremost, thank you for taking time out and breaking away from camp. I know you told me you were headed over to train Jermall. So I guess let's jump into that. How is the big middleweight looking these days?
It's looking great, man. Working hard, as always, and getting ready for December 22nd.
Well, I'm going to introduce you to my co-host. He'll be asking you some questions alongside me, Michael Gross. Mike.
How's it going today, Ronnie? Thank you for joining the show. We met in Brooklyn.
I'm great, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So your heavyweight, he has a fight on the 22nd?
Yes, he's fighting in Brooklyn on the 22nd.
Do we know who he'll be facing yet, or do you guys not know yet?
No, I don't have an opponent yet. Haven't got to me on that yet, but I'm sure they're looking, trying to find somebody.
Okay, now when you guys don't have a opponent, is it like kind of hard to like come up with a game plan, or do you guys like just work on the things that are going to make him better and not necessarily worry about what the opponent is going to do?
Absolutely. I mean, I should have an opponent pretty soon, but I mean, we always work off the last.
Oh shit! Looks like he dropped off. Let me reconnect him. He'll probably be calling back in here in a minute. Sucks.
I just hate that boxers don't know who they're fighting, and it's like, how many weeks out? 6 weeks, 7 weeks?
Nah, man, you crazy. Like 2 weeks out, bro. Oh, well, he's December 22nd.
22nd. Like, damn, I ain't went Christmas shopping yet, bro. Damn, hold on now.
Yeah.
But yeah, ask some real. We getting there, man. We getting there, bro. Hold on, hold your horses, bro. Hold your horses.
Yeah, I'm pulling him up now. Had to connect to the system first.
Not an issue. Not an issue. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. I thought you were saying something.
All right, we're back. Go ahead, Mike.
Absolutely. Now, I was asking, my next question was going to be, in 2019, what kind of steps forward can we see from Efe? Are we going to get him facing like a contender, challenger kind of guy?
You mean Efe Ajagba?
Yes, sir. Efe Ajagba. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Efe, he turned 24 in April, so it's like he's a young kid, and he had like 48 amateur fights. Although he was good enough to go to the Olympics, he won 2 fights there and got robbed in the quarterfinals, and we're going to take it slow on him. It's not no rush. When it's time for Efe to face the guys in the top 10, he's going to be ready. He's definitely going to be ready. And that may take like another year, I say, before we feel he's ready to do that. But this kid, he hasn't got his man straight yet, and he's so strong. This kid can hurt you with anything he throws, he can hurt you with. But still, this is boxing. We want to go up against the best guys. In order to compete with the best guy, that takes experience, and then so that's what we're trying to do now. We're trying to get him in with guys that can take him some rounds. We haven't found anybody yet who can take him rounds, but that's the goal, to get him in with guys that can take him some rounds so he can get that experience. So when it's time for him to get to the upper echelon of the guys, he's going to be ready.
So, Ronnie, if you're looking for a guy that'll give him some rounds, obviously a durable heavyweight, is he ready for the likes of a Kevin Johnson, who's used a lot in the heavyweight division? He's a durable guy, and you really have to have true power to knock him out.
Well, I mean, I didn't even know Kevin Johnson, so it's a guy I never looked at before, So, I mean, I never had to take a look
Kingpin?
at him. So, I don't know.
You don't remember the Kingpin, Kevin Johnson? He's fought everybody.
He just took Daniel Dubois 10 rounds.
Yeah, he took Daniel Dubois 10 rounds his last fight
I
out.
remember that. I know the name. No, what I'm saying is, I know the name, but I never had to sit down and study him for a fight. So I don't know, I have to take a look at a guy like him and see. But I mean, it depends on what his record is also. These commissioners, man, they're not approving guys that have terrible records. They're not approving those guys. You have to have a decent record in order to fight anybody these days, So it just depends on, if it's just a guy. Somebody offered me a guy the other day for Efe, and the guy is 45 years old. I said, why would I want to put my guy with a 45-year-old guy. That just don't make sense to me. When a few days ago, a 49-year-old man fought and got knocked out and he died. So why would I want to put my kid in with a 45-year-old and do that to him? Because I don't know how he would react if he hit somebody and they killed him. So I definitely wouldn't want to do that. Not to say they can't help it to a younger guy, but I definitely wouldn't put him in with a 45-year-old man.
Is it frustrating for Efe to like go through like a hard training camp and then like get in the ring, have a guy walk out on him and like just get guys out of there too quick? I mean, like, not too quick, but he gets guys out of there early. Did they ever come back and be like, man, I wanted to go more rounds. I'm kind of frustrated that these guys aren't necessarily challenging me.
Well, Efe, he doesn't get frustrated at all because he's trying to knock everybody out. That's just plain and simple. He wants to have a perfect record of all knockouts. That's who he is. That's who he wants to be. He wants people to know him by that. And, because the guy walked out of the ring, he just said, okay, he was scared. No problem. Let's just go to the next fight. It didn't bother him. Not at all. It didn't bother him at all that the guy just walked out of the ring. He just said, I guess he was scared. So next, who's up next? So we did. We fought, a few weeks later, and he stopped the guy in the first round and said, who's next? That's just the kind of attitude this kid has. This kid, he wants to work in the gym every day. He wants to learn on how to be the best he can possibly be. So our job is to teach him that, and that's what we're doing.
So, Ronnie, how do you keep Efe, I guess, from moving too fast, which obviously based on rankings, he's already doing that. Like they have him in the top 50. And it just seems like at this point, every name in that top 50 is going to want decent money. It's going to be like risk versus reward, especially if you're looking for a guy that's going to give them rounds. Any durable name to give them rounds is going to look at Efe like a threat that they don't need to take at this point. I'll just throw some names out there, ranked above Efe. You got guys like Mayweather, Charlo, Michael Hunter, Alexander Dimitrenko, who else? Carlos Takam, Derek Chisora, like Johan Duapai. Those are names that will probably give Efe those rounds, but at the same time say to themselves, what am I gaining by fighting this guy?
Right. Well, and this is why I say Efe, we're going to take our time on that. So we're going to, right now, he's going to fight one more 6 rounds. So if he's a 6-round fighter, because he's going to fight one more 6-round fight, then we're going to step him up to 8 rounds. After this fight on December 22nd, his next fight will be 8 rounds. So, so the sort of thing is, we have to build also. We have to get up to the 10 and 12 rounds. And we ain't got that yet. He's just a 6-round fighter right now. So, but still, we've offered to fight some guys that has really good records and has been in there with a lot of good guys, and everybody turns him down. Everybody's saying no. But it's when there's somebody out there that'll fight him, people are going to look at and say, hey, he's just a fighter. He's just a heavyweight, So sooner or later, they're going to have to step up. When it's time for us to get to that point where I would say going 10 rounds, then look, the money is going to be there for these guys to say, I'm going to take that risk with this guy. And it's, this is a business. Boxing is a business. Before anything else, it's a business first. And then, money excites people. So the money will be there, and Efe will get all the fights that he needs to make sure that he gets the experience for when he gets really into the top 10 guys. He'll be able to compete with everybody.
I got a real quick question for you. There's like a rumor going around. I don't know how true it is, but maybe you can clear it up for us. Did Efe and Wilder ever spar?
Never.
Never. Okay.
He's never sparred with Wilder. He first met Wilder. He met Wilder. I introduced him to Wilder in New York when Wilder fought. That's the first time Efe ever seen Wilder. He's heard of him before, but he's never seen him before. So I brought him over there and introduced him. They took pictures together, and that was it. These guys never sparred. I read something where somebody said that they sparred and this and that. No, that never happened. These guys have never sparred before.
Ronnie, can you explain development for us? Because obviously, like for me, I don't know if it's my American bias, but I look at Efe and I see more of a threat. I see danger. I compare him to an up-and-coming heavyweight across the pond by the name of Daniel Dubois. He has more fights than Efe. I think he has 10 fights exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights, but his last five have been 10 rounders. So just talk to us about progression. Like, how does the trainer know when is the right time, when a fighter should and shouldn't be moved? Because again, Dubois is barely turning 21.
Right. Well, look, I've seen Dubois a lot of times. I studied some of these guys that I know Efe is going to possibly, have to face in the future. But they're on the fast track with this kid. But Dubois, he's the kind of guy. He's a good puncher. He throws a lot of punches. His style is limited. And the people that have him, they understand that it's just a matter of time before somebody clip this guy and his career is going to be over. Because let me tell you something. With guys like him, he takes a lot of chances. He comes in, he swings both hands, and these guys are fighting. He's already fighting good guys. 10 rounds already. For what? If this kid is going to have a short career, he's not going to have a long career because they not teaching him anything. All they're doing is they think his power is going to take him to the heavyweight championship of the world. But at the same time, when you look at him, he's really smart. I think they should take their time with this kid because he's so young. Take your time with him and let this kid develop into his man strength. This kid don't have his man strength yet, and he's strong as hell. But at the same time, what is he learning? He's not learning anything, and that's the thing. Here's my assessment of a guy like Efe. Like I said, he's 24 years old. He's still a youngster. But at the same time, he got boxing skills. And, he can box you on the outside. He can go forward. He can fight both ways. So I want to get him to the point where we sharpen him up that he don't have to be worried about no style that he has to fight. But when you get in there and you rush a kid like Efe, then you're taking a chance on him having a very short career and not learning everything he needs to know that's going to happen in that ring. I like to fight him against different styles. We just started sparring with southpaws. I'm getting used to that style. And of course, I'm getting used to smaller guys fighting short guys, tall guys, we're mixing it up on it. So in the future, which is going to be, within the next year or two, he's going to see everything that he has to see. And nothing is going to, we ain't going to throw nothing at him that he hasn't seen. But to me, when you rush a guy and what are they proving by putting Dubois in 10-round fights right now? What are you proving? That he can go 10 rounds? Okay, so what? But after you start going 10 rounds and you get to a certain point, then you can't go back and say, well, now we're going to slow him down a little bit. We're going to bring him back and let him fight these bums and get him a couple more bums and then bring him back up to. That's not going to happen because commission, in the rules, they're not supposed to approve that. Once you get to a certain status, you got to stay at that status. You can't say, I'm going to go back down and stay down until you figure he's going to continue. What's going to happen with this kid is they're going to rush him into a big fight. He's going to get knocked out, and then where is he going to go?
Coach Shields, but some would argue that you have to put your fighter maybe in the fire early to like see what you got, and maybe that he could learn from a experience of being in there tough at a young boxing career age.
Well, look, everybody have a different scenario on how they want their fighter to grow, And I've been around a long time. I've seen guys rush fighters, and when you rush a guy, you know what? 9 out of 10 don't make it.
I mean, we gotta.
I know a lot of
like Bernard and Roy Jones. They got matched together early. Both of them had stellar careers, and even earlier, I think last year, Titus Williams fought Chris Colbert very early in both of their careers, and Chris Colbert has.
I mean, James DeGale and George Gross fought in their 13th and 11th fight versus each other. I mean, Eddie Gomez and someone from Texas, Antoine Arnett.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying that don't happen, but I'm just saying, though, where are their careers now?
That's right.
Talk about DeGale, look at DeGale. He just gave up his title. Why do you think he gave up his title? Because he couldn't beat the guy. What's his name? Usyk or whatever. I mean, what's the guy?
Jose Uzcategui.
Yes. He gave up the title because he knew he couldn't beat that guy. So he's running away. He's running away because he wasn't ready. He ain't ready. He's not ready for that. That's why he gave up the title. I mean, what champion give up his belt because he's afraid he's going to lose it? Anyway. Going up in weight. He's not going up in weight. He's staying right in the same weight, but he gives up the title. Why? Because he's not ready for that. And this is what's going to happen to a lot of fighters. It happens all the time. They feel, you know what? Man, we can't beat this guy, so that just give up the title. Now he's going to fight Chris Eubank Jr. So he's not stepping up. He's stepping down. So that's my point right there.
Absolutely. I make some good points. I mean, you make some absolutely good points. But if we can we step on from Efe, because he spoke of somebody giving up a title, and I just want to give his opinion about what if Canelo gives up his title and not fight Jermall Charlo, his mandatory.
Well, look, our other thing is this. If and when it comes to that point that, Jermall has been the mandatory now for a little over a year now. And there's always the WBC, hey, man, you're the mandatory for Triple G. So, you're going to fight Triple G his next fight. Next fight comes after Canelo fight. Now, oh, well, when Canelo failed the drug test, then they say, well, they're suspending him for 6 months, so now, he's going to take a fight, but we'll prove him to fight somebody else, Ronald Rushman, who, by the way, has never in his life fought as a middleweight, but they're approved to fight anyway, so we had to step back and let him fight. So after that fight, we went back, said, okay, now after that fight, Canelo is next. So, they promised us after this fight, y'all, unless it's like a razor thin decision and, y'all are going to be definitely next in line. So now Next in line, now they told us we got to fight Triple G. You know, but, you know, we're not sitting back and waiting on Triple G because, look, you know, Jermall fought once this year already, so now we're going to fight another fight, you know, in December. So the main focus right now is to go ahead and fight Willie Jones, Willie Monroe, and, you know, beat Willie Monroe, and then the WBC set up, said, hey, you know, you got to fight Canelo. Triple G. So Triple G is next. That's what we're thinking. So if Triple G don't want to fight, then we automatically should be able to go and fight for the WBC middleweight championship, which is held by Canelo Alvarez. So that's what we're looking at. So if Canelo don't fight, then he got to give up the title. He got to give it up.
Ronnie, I want to kind of segue into another Jermall Charlo question, but according to Demetrius Andrade, the current WBO champion,
he's the BO champion.
He's saying, and I quote from his verified Twitter, "I never talk about the frustrations behind the scenes stuff, but I challenged Future of Boxing way before he had an opponent for April. My team was told that Al Heyman approved the fight, but Jermall Charlo and Ronnie Shields didn't want to fight me. Hashtag truth, emoji of 100.
It's so funny. It's the first time I'm hearing about that. This is the very first time I'm hearing about this. That he challenged and Al Heyman approved. Let me tell you something. What this guy don't know. He's a liar. That's what he does. You know, he's the only guy in the world that lies about everything. He just wants people to think that he is the man at 160 pounds. He ain't nothing. He's nothing. He don't mean anything to anybody. You know? So if this fight had materialized the way he said that Al Heyman approved it, Al Heyman never called me. He told me anything. And Al Heyman is not going to do anything with Jermall Charlo or any other fighter that I train that's with Al Heyman. He would never, ever allow a fight to happen unless he contacts me first. So I know Demetrius is a liar. So Demetrius is blowing smoke. He's blowing smoke just like Danny Jacobs. They both, all they do is blow smoke. You know, the thing about it is, for Demetrius, that old man he just fought and just beat, what that guy was like, 60 years old or something, that he just beat, you know? He talks all of this mess, but when it's time to fight, he don't show up. Here's a guy, let me go back. Here's a guy, he was a 154-pound champion. When I was training Jermall Charlo, we had a fight, we had a contract, we had everything to fight Demetrius Andrade. So what happened? Demetrius calls, I can't fight. He pulls out a week before the fight when he was supposed to fight Jermall's brother Jermall. So he pulls out, and he acting like people forgot that. Because he pulled out because he wanted to go and sign with Rock Nation. See, this is the kind of guy he is. He already got a promoter, but he wanted to go sign with Rock Nation. And he trained, Rock Nation told him, don't fight Jermall Charlo, that they was going to go another route. So he pulled out of that fight. Now he tried to sue Rock Nation because he couldn't make a deal with them. But he pulled out of the fight because he thought he was going to make a deal with Rock Nation. So now his promoters wanted to sue him, and now they both got together and both sued Rock Nation. I never knew. I don't know if you guys know whatever happened with that lawsuit, but now somebody else comes along, like Eddie Hearn comes along, and what he does? He leaves them again. So this guy, he's all over the place. He's all talk. He don't mean nothing in the middleweight division, nothing at all. So, but he always trying to poke himself into a fight. But when it's time to come to fight, he never fights. So you can figure that out yourself.
Well, Ronnie, I want to ask you a few questions from our loyal Patreon subscribers. First one's coming from California, Chris Camillo. He says, in an interview with Mike Gross, my co-host here on the show, he says, from TBV, you mentioned no one will fight Jermall. Do you think it would be smart to try and get Jermall over to DAZN? They seem to have the inventory at 160 that you seem to be looking for. Or is Jermall not free to move around like Danny Jacob is, who is another Al Haymon 160-pound fighter?
Let me explain to you. Jermall Charlo would never ever go to dead zone. I call him dead zone. Never ever go there. You know, this guy Eddie Hearn.
You call him what now? You call him dead zone.
Dead zone. That's what
okay.
The dead zone. So Jermall Charlo would never ever go over to dead zone. So here's the thing. He claims he got this person, he got that person, right? He lied to everybody and told them that he made the deal for Canelo Alvarez to go over to dead zone. But he's lied. Eddie Hearn didn't make that deal for Canelo Alvarez to go over there. Golden Boy made their own deal. But Eddie Hearn trying to take credit for something he had nothing to do with. The same with Triple G is talking to them. If he goes over there, Eddie Hearn ain't got nothing to do with that. He got his own separate deal with dead zone. So, you know, Danny Jacobs is not with dead zone. He's not with them. Why? His contract just ended up with HBO because HBO decided to go away from boxing. So Danny Jacobs is not with dead zone. So the only one that's over there is Demetrius Andrade. That's it. So what is he talking about?
So
nobody wants to go over there.
Wait, so Daniel isn't going to, because you know Daniel is signed to Matchroom USA, so everyone just automatically assumes he's going to sign to DAZN.
Okay, but you know what they say about when you assume something, right?
I love it. I love it.
You know what they say when you assume something, right?
But how else do you guys get a Canelo fight, though?
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Do you think that since HBO, they knew HBO been going out of boxing for what? A few months now, right? Everybody knew that, right? Everybody knew that, right?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, if everybody knew that, why haven't Danny Jacobs signed with dead zone already? What's the wait? What's the wait on
He trying to get that big $365 million deal too.
No, he couldn't even draw 2,000 people in a small arena at the Garden. What you talking about? He couldn't draw 2,000 people there. What makes you think there's over want to sign him? They're not in no rush to sign him. They ain't trying to sign him.
Hey, but they say it's about dance partners, Ronnie. They say it's about dance partners. I'm pretty sure Jermall Charlo, Daniel Jacobs in Brooklyn is a sold out crowd. Barclays Center,
so
come on.
So to go to dead zone to fight it?
That's true.
Dead zone to fight it?
Danny Jacobs is still being advised by Al Haymon.
Look, our thing is this. We're part of the PBC. That's what we're building. That's what we're building up. Just like that. That's it. And, you know, if and when it's time for us to fight Canelo Alvarez, you know, this fight they got to go to first bid. They can't offer enough money to this fight. It's got to go to first bid. So that's all I'm saying. They got to go to first bid.
So you guys saying you rather go to purse bids than try to negotiate with?
Of course.
Interim champion. Hold up. Jermall is interim champion. Unless they offer something that he can't refuse, then we got to go to first bid. And you know, since Jermall is interim champion, purse bid is 50-50. Not 70-30, not 60-40.
I didn't know that.
50-50. Uh-huh.
No, you don't. Well, you don't negotiate then. Nope. You go purse bid.
Yeah, but that mandatory is not going to be called. That mandatory won't even be called until October, November, the next WBC convention.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we'll have to wait and see on that. We have to wait and see what happens on that, because I'm not sure. That could
All
be a
right.
wait and see.
All right, perfect. Let me get to the next question we have here from Raman Ingram. He says, do you have a relationship with fighters outside of the gym, or is it strictly business?
For me, I have a lot of relationships outside of the gym. Absolutely. I have a lot of friends that are fighters. You know, I mean, my whole life is consumed with fighters. So I have a lot of friends outside of the guys that I train, you know. And, I mean, good friendships with a lot of the fighters that's out there. You know, and, you know, I mean, I've met so many fighters in my lifetime and I've become friends with so many of them. You know, we can all keep in touch all the time.
Cool. I have another one here. How far is Efe Ajagba from being a complete fighter and title contender?
I'll say right now, Efe is about 1.5 years away from where we think he should be. And I think, you know, in about 1.5 years, Efe Ajagba will be the #1 guy in the heavyweight division.
If you could choose anyone in the heavyweight division and middleweight divisions for your stars, Efe and Jermall, to fight next, who would they be?
But for Jermall Charlo, I would think Canelo Alvarez, because he definitely wants to fight Canelo. He's itching to fight Canelo. And for Efe, right now, I don't know. I don't know who I could say he could fight right now. I mean, in the heavyweight division, because again, you know, he's only a 6-round fighter right now. You know, after this fight on December 22nd, he would definitely go up to 8 rounds. So I can't call the names right now for Efe because, you know, for any of the top, if you mean just any of the top guys right now, I mean, I would love to see him fight anybody, really. You know, but when he gets to the 10-round status, we're not just not there yet.
All right. How do you train different fighters from different weight classes differently? Example, Jermall versus Efe.
Well, you know, Jermall and Efe, you know, are kind of similar. They both are power punchers. So, but with Jermall being smaller, I make him throw way more combinations because he can do that. You know, because he has the ability to, because he's smaller, to throw more punches and more combinations. With Efe, you know, with a heavyweight, I mean, of course, you want your heavyweight to knock everybody out. So everything we're looking for, you know, if we see a good body shot, we're going to take it, definitely. But with Efe, with power in both hands, you know, Efe can hit you with a right hand and you're going to go. I don't care who it is. He's going to hit anybody in the world with a right hand. He's going to knock him out.
Hey, real quick, can you just speak on the how you teach the jab? Because in my opinion, your fighters have some of the best jabs in boxing. Period. If it's Efe, if it's Jermall Charlo, and I forget the kid, well, not the kid, the man's name that fought on Showtime or Showbox, I believe, and he was like Eastern European.
Oh, Amontes.
Yes, sir. Him. He had a nice crisp jab too. Like, just how do you get those guys to that point where the jab is like some of the best in boxing?
Well, the thing about it is, when, you know, I had Jermall as a young kid. So, when I first met Jermall, he was like 10 years old, seeing him in the gym. I used to do hand pads with him and his brother. And you start from there, to get the basics of boxing. And, the first thing you're supposed to learn in any, as far as boxing is concerned, it's the jab. The jab is the key thing for everything. But, certain people, you have to, like Jermall has a power jab. His jab, as you've seen in some of his fights, he dropped guys with the jab. Look at Julian Williams. When he hit Julian Williams with the jab, he never recovered from that jab, because it was a power jab. So, so we mix up the jab. Sometimes we'll throw a power jab. Sometimes we'll just throw a fast jab just to set something up, and we have different speeds for the jab that we use. So, it takes practice. You have to practice on it every single day. That's one of the things that we work on every day is how much we use the jab. We set up different combinations with it. And with Jermall, like I say, I can run combinations off of his jab because his jab is so good. Efe is the same way. Efe has a really good strong jab. But with the heavyweights are a lot slower, but still, I make him throw 3, 4, 5 punches behind his jab, and we mix the jab up too. Sometimes we'll jab to the body, bring it back up top. Sometimes we'll jab the body and throw a combination behind that. And, it's all confusing to guys because sometimes they don't see it. All they're looking for is that good, hard, strong jab. And once they get hit with it one time, then we can, what we can do off of it. We could do so many different combinations off of that. And that's what we work on. And this is something you have to work on consistently. You can't do it one fight and not do it another fight. No, you have to make that part of your game. And that's what we do every single day.
All right. Perfect. I have a few more here. There are a few rising female boxing stars. Who do you see with the most potential? And are you working with any females now? Example, Katie Taylor, Cecilia Baracus, Clarissa Shields.
Yeah, I don't train any women fighters anymore. I had like 3 women fighters that I trained maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. And I just, it's just too much of a hassle. About 5 years ago, I had to fought for the middleweight title in Germany. And man, I mean, it just took away too much of my time, and, in this business, and there's no money in the women boxing. I mean, there's none, absolutely none. The girls you're naming right now, Kathy Taylor, Clarissa Shields, and other girls, they're making good money, because they're on Showtime. But not every female is going to get on Showtime or any, or HBO or whatever, and you rarely see them on ESPN. Boxing in the United States just is not as big as if you go to Germany, to Belgium, to Ireland, to Russia. That's where you have to go in order to make any money. And, but now, with Showtime being involved in professional women's boxing, I think it's great, man. I mean, I really do think it's great that these girls are really coming to the forefront and they're bringing women boxing, because women deserve every chance they can to get, to get seen. And now that they are seen, they're doing a great job with it. The only thing is that, it's not that many good female fighters out there. It's going to pick up, and I hope and pray that it's successful, because it's boxing is boxing, no matter if it's a man or woman. But, right now, there's only a handful of women that's really, at the forefront of women's boxing. And I think they just need to continue to keep training hard and keep doing what they do. But it's just not for me right now.
Can you just explain maybe some of the differences in training a woman versus a man? Like, because it's shorter rounds, different power and speed, obviously. And, a few of us here on the show, we've always said like women fights tend to turn into slugfest. It's hard to see skill sometimes.
Yes, yeah, because you don't have enough time. Look, now for a person who never fought before, and they go to the gym thinking that they see how easy it is because they're looking at the men and women, doing it on television or whatever. But you go to the gym, you see them pounding the bag or whatever. You say, that's easy, Yeah, it's easy for them, but you try to do that, it's very hard. But listen, 2 minutes is a very short time to do anything. So you have to impress a judge in 2 minutes, and in order to do that, man, you have to throw punches. But this is what makes women's boxing exciting, because as a fan, that's what I want to see. I want to see punches thrown. I don't want to see technique. I want to see, technique and a lot of punches thrown. And that's really hard to do, But I commend these women because they are doing it. They are doing everything they're supposed to do because, in one sense, this is why they only put women 2 minutes, because they want to make it exciting. And, if you do that to the men, let me tell you something, the men will complain. Every male fighter will complain that, that just, the rounds will be too short. They're just crazy. And I tell you, it would hurt a lot of these stars right now to go 2 minutes. It really would. It would make a big difference. You would have a whole new set of world champions if men were to fight 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a few exhibitions and they make you do 2 minutes, and it's totally different from sparring 3 minutes, because 3 minutes you have more time to come up with a game plan. Especially for me, I was a novice in these fights, and these guys charge at you, and you only got 2 minutes to get your composure and kind of come up with a game plan. It's all action. So I know exactly what you mean.
All action.
All right, so we got a few more. Absolutely. Well, we actually have a lot more, so I hope you're not pressed for time. If so, please let us know. All right, great.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Perfect. Let's see here. How much, this is a great one. How much film study is part of your job? If you do study any film, do you study just the opponent, or do you look for flaws in your own fighter while you're studying their film?
Well, and I tell you, my wife, I'm on my iPad. When I'm not at the gym, I come home, first thing I do, get on my iPad, and I'm watching some opponent. Just yesterday, I was on my iPad and trying to find opponents for Efe, because I know, that they could be calling me with opponents, and if I don't like the opponent, then I say no, I don't like him. And it might be something about him that I don't like, and I'm not going to accept it. So I look for myself sometimes. But I study opponents every single day, all day long. That's what I'm doing. And I also watch my guys. I go back and watch every fight that my guys have. And I study to see, hey, we didn't do this good, but we did that good. I take the good with the bad. And in the gym, I got to correct it. Because if I see a flaw, the opponent's trainer sees the flaw. So I have to fix that. So that's what I do. I go and I work on it every day. And, that's my job. My job, every fighter that I train, they trust in me to come up with a great game plan for them, and one that I feel is going to help them win. And so this is what I do. And, the thing about it is the fighter has to understand that I'm going to throw stuff at them sometimes that they don't want to see. But at the same time, whatever sticks, that's what we work on. If it don't stick, I throw it out. And then put in something else. But this is why we have 5, 6, and 7 week training camps, to make sure we get it right. And by the time the fight comes, you know, we have to have it down. And not every fighter get it though. Not every fighter get it. They, you know, sometimes a fighter might, you know, he might miss something. And, you know, that's something you can't afford to miss in a big fight. You can't afford to miss anything. You have to know what it is that you have to do, and you have to do it at the very moment.
So historically, the heavyweight division has been the glamour division, but now kind of the welterweight division has taken that over with all the many pay-per-views Pacquiao and Floyd have done. But what division do you think rules right now?
I think it's the middleweight division. I think everybody wants to see the middleweights. You know, I really do. And, you know, and I think, you know, look, I think you can't put the heavyweights in that category because people would always love to see heavyweight fights. I mean, you know, that's just the way it's been from the very beginning. The heavyweights always made the show. So, but now I do think the welterweights are the glamour. I think the welterweights is the glamour division because you have so many good welterweights out there. I mean, oh my God, you have so many guys that are capable of holding their own in the welterweight division. But I think after that, I think it's the middleweight division. I think the middleweight division is behind it. But, you know, still, there's a lot of fights out there right now. But, you know, but the welterweight division, I would have to say that, hands down, they are the best division in boxing right now because there's so many great guys in that division.
What would you prefer to work with? A big name star or a prospect with potential?
I probably would rather work with a prospect with potential because, you know, with a prospect, you know, if he comes into his full potential, oh my God, he can be a star in the sport of boxing.
All right.
You know? And if you have a guy that's already there, I mean, it is what it is with him. But with a prospect, man, most prospects are young. And so, you know, if built the right way, they could be superstars in the division.
All right. How important is it for trainers to establish relationships with promoters and managers to stay relevant? You mentioned Finkel introduced you to Efe Ajagba, your heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's good to know everybody, and it's good to know all the top managers, promoters in the sport. Because if you don't, you know, you'll never get a good fighter. I mean, you know, you just gotta happen along to be with, you know, with a fighter. But look, every great trainer can build fighters. Some trainers, you know, if you don't have it already, then they can't help you. You know, I'm from the grassroots. You know, I've been training fighters since I was 13 years old. And, you know, and how I started training fighters there when I was 13 years old, we had over 45 guys, amateur fighters in our gym, and we only had 4 trainers. So my trainer told me, he said, look, you guys got to help out. Y'all need to help each other do pads. You need to look at these other fighters and, you know, look for opponents, you know, because when we go to amateurs, in the amateurs, what we did was, you know, like we fought in a lot of tournaments. So, you know, he would say, hey, after your fight, you go look at this guy and this guy, because you got 2 or 3 rings though at the same time. You look at that guy and tell him how to fight this guy. And so that's how I learned from back then. But, you know, it's really hard, man, when a guy that didn't have to do things like that. But for me, it's really helped me out a lot.
As a former fighter and now a trainer who obviously has to be a mentor and give out advice, how do you feel about sex before a fight? One fighter that spoke to us said that they had sex 2 hours before a fight. That was actually Deontay Wilder. Wilder said he got it in his dressing room before I think he said his pro debut.
Well, man, the thing about that, it's everybody is different. Everybody handles that situation different. For me, when I was fighting, I always went at least 3 to 4 weeks without. I know some fighters went longer than that. I know fighters went 2-3 months without. So I think it depends on the individual. But I don't think it's something that you can do every day and then get in that ring, because it is. It affects your strength. It really does. So, but I can't say for other fighters on how it's going to affect them, because I don't know because it affects people in different ways.
All right. With every election that comes and goes, more states are decriminalizing marijuana or making it, recreational in most states. But most sports are reluctant to change their ban of the substance. Only the NFL is even considering the change. Do you think that marijuana should be taken off the ban list if it can help with pain and anxiety, etc., for boxers?
Well, I've never smoked marijuana in my life, so I don't know anything about any drug at all. Unless it's a prescription drug, I have no idea about, what marijuana does for you or doesn't do for you. I've heard and I've seen people say, hey, it helps me with this or help me with that. As long as it don't give you an advantage, then it should be fine. I know a lot of people really need medical marijuana because I've seen it. I have a friend of mine who's telling me about a very good friend of his. They live in Colorado, and I'm not sure now if Colorado has approved that, but they had to move to California because their daughter, they show different scenarios of when she was just comatose, and then all of a sudden they gave her the medical marijuana, and all of a sudden she was a blood-better kid. So they decided they picked up their whole life and moved to California because it was legal for their daughter to have it. So if that was the case, I think I would have did the same thing. But as far as that in sports is concerned, I don't know, because does it give you, what kind of advantages would it give you? And that's the whole thing about steroids. Steroids, people think that steroids give you an advantage. I don't know if it does, and I don't know if it doesn't. But I've seen guys who took steroids that got their butt kicked. And I've seen guys who took steroids who didn't get their butt kicked. So, I think it just is an individual thing. So, I don't know how that would ever get passed, and I don't think it will, because if you pass marijuana, you got to pass everything else. Because in some states it's illegal to have marijuana, and in some states it's not. So, so that's just something that the chief commission is going to have to get together and see what's what on stuff like that. Because if it works for some people and not others, then that could be a problem.
All right. Many fighters, aka Floyd Mayweather, have had a hard time walking away from the sport of boxing. What helped you decide to retire? Do you see any negative changes in your body as a result of not only boxing but training fighters?
Well, for me, and for myself, it was very easy for me to walk away because all the pain that I was in. My left elbow, I used to have to go get acupuncture treatments almost before every workout, because I couldn't take the pain every time I threw my jab. My elbow was just in so much pain. I used to have to take cortisone shots and acupuncture. I did everything I could to try to help me, but I just got tired of doing that. I got tired of the pain. Every day I'm icing every single day. For me, it was just, it was just, the pain was just too much, too unbearable for me to continue. So that's why I quit. And I tell the people, I never retired. I quit. So I said, because you cannot come back from a quit. You can come back from retirement, but not a quit. And I quit. So, but the guys like Floyd Mayweather, you know, he was like Muhammad Ali, he was like Joe Frazier, he was like George Foreman. He, you know, is embedded. You know, boxing is embedded in you. And so many fighters don't have, you know, college educations or any other desire to do anything else. So when this is all you've been doing for all of your life, that's all you know how to do. No matter how much money you have, everybody wants money. And no matter how much money you have, but the desire to get back in that ring is always there. You know, you feel it. You feel it that I can't do anything else. I mean, what am I going to do? I don't get up in the morning and run no more. I don't go to the gym. My whole day is like screwed up, you know? So, in other words, you lost. You know, now you're in a different world when you say that your career is over. So, like a guy like Floyd, so he got into the promoter's business. He got into a business that he already knew about, and that's boxing. But sometimes that's still not enough. Ali tried to do the same thing, Frazier. I mean, all these guys, George Foreman, all of them try to do the same thing. But it's not enough. You know, you want people calling your name. You want, you know, once people continue to take pictures with you, run for your autograph, you know, you miss that. You don't want to lose that. Why would you want to lose that? So no matter what age you get, it comes back. That hunger, that desire never ever leaves you. And the more you're around it, the more you want to get back in there and get in there. And then when you look at fighters who people are excited about, and you say, I mean, I could beat that guy. You know, always in the back of your mind, you could beat that guy. So that's why you come back.
Has a boxer ever accidentally put you in the hospital while training him?
Never. I've been fortunate. I've been hit a few times, but
all right,
I've never been hit to the point of where I got to a point of where I needed to go to the hospital.
Next one is from Ron in the Bay Area. He says, many newcomers may not know, but you trained Jesus Chavez to fight Floyd Mayweather. In that fight, was there any untold stories or interesting moments you could tell us leading up or during the fight?
Yes. It's a funny story. So, Jesus had another trainer, and I'm not going to call his name. But, you know, and I knew the guy. And I've always known him to train amateur fighters, not professional fighters. But, you know, of course, he had always trained professional fighters, but guys that I never knew. But anyway, so when the fight before Jesus fought Floyd Mayweather, they called me up. Jesus called me up himself and asked me would I be interested in helping him and his trainer he felt I could bring something different to the table that he needed. So I said, yeah, no problem. So when they first came over, the trainer didn't want me to do anything. He wanted to do all the pads. He wanted, we're sitting down discussing, a plan. Everything I said wasn't good enough. So I told him, I said, look, man, you got to get this out of your head that you know everything because you don't. I say, we're here together. You put some things in that you think are going to work. I'll put some things in that I think is going to work. Let Jesus pick out what he thinks is better, and we go from there. So he agreed to that. And so him and I, we started getting along. Everything started working perfect. We had a fight. We won the fight, no problem. Then when they called about the fight with Floyd Mayweather, Jesus said, look, man, I'm coming down to you first, and then I'm going to bring everybody in there afterwards. I said, okay, no problem. So Jesus was living in Austin, Texas. So the other trainer got mad at that because he wanted to put in his stuff first with Jesus and not myself. But anyway, Jesus told him, no, I want to go down there first. And you come and join us for the last 5 weeks. So Jesus came to me for the first 3 weeks. So, but I was trying to be nice to the guy, and I was calling him and telling him what I was working on. And he didn't want to hear it. He did not want to hear it. But anyway, I just said, man, I told Jesus, man, I'm going to just have to do what I have to do. And, you know, you just take it from there. You know, I don't argue with nobody in the gym. I say, I'm just telling you what I think we should do. And if you want to do it, we'll do it. If not, then we'll do whatever you want to do. He said, no. I want to do what you want to do. Something like that. That's why I came down there first. So finally, that guy came in, you know, him and I had a long discussion, and it didn't go well at all. You know, he told me I thought I knew everything. I'd say, no, I don't know everything. I say, look, you put in some stuff that you think might work for him, and then we'll go from there. Let's just work from there. And Jesus was never comfortable with what the guy was trying to say. And so, anyway, the long story short, the guy left. He left, but then he came to the fight. So when we had the fight, you know, of course, I'm doing the talking in the corner. I'm the lead corner man, so I'm doing the talking in the corner. And every time I get back, I come down, he got something to say. Nah, he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. So I'm telling him, I said, man, look, I'm not arguing with you. Let's just watch the fight, and you know, we just, you know, Jesus was doing good early. I thought Jesus was really doing really good early. But when it got to about the 7th, 8th round, the guy had his phone out, and he was looking. Somebody was texting him, telling him that Harold Letterman had Jesus winning the fight. And I told him, I said, look, man, don't you tell that to Jesus. I said, don't say nothing. He's fighting his heart out. He's doing good. I said, but he's not winning. He's losing. I said, he's behind a few rounds. I said, but look, Jesus is going to get all right. So I just hope in the next few rounds that we can pick it up, and we can, you know, we can get out there and we can win the fight. So I think about the 10th or 11th round, maybe the 10th round. I forget what round I stopped it in. But Jesus came back. Jesus got hit with a right hand that was, you know, in Florida, not a power punches. But Florida really sit down on his right hand and hit Jesus. When Jesus came back to the corner, he sat down. I said, look at me. And he won't look at me. I said, look at me. So he raised up, he looked at me, and I couldn't even, all I saw was the whites of his eyes. I couldn't even see his pupils. So I slapped him. I said, hey. And he shook his head, and they came back. So I said, are you all right? And he didn't answer me. I said, Jesus, look at me. Are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm fine. I said, no, you're not. I said, look, man, now he's pot-shotting you. I said, he's hurting you. I said, I'm going to stop the fight. The other guy went crazy. He's winning a fight. You're going to stop the fight. He said, you working for Mayweather? He said, I was working for Mayweather. I said, dude, shut the hell up. So I stopped the fight. And so when we went back in the dressing room, I'm back there. The guy won't even look at me. He won't talk to me or nothing. Jesus' mother and father came up to me, and they told me, they grabbed me by the hand and said, thank you. He was losing. And I saw him get hurt. I know my son. The father said, I know my son. I saw him get hurt. He said, and you did the right thing by stopping the fight. That's all I needed right there. And Jesus came and told me the same thing. He said, I was ready him. He said, thank you for stopping the fight. And the other guy goes and tells everybody in the world that Jesus was in the fight. And Jesus was so you know, it's a difference between when you think something and what the judges have. The judges might have given Jesus maybe 3 rounds in the whole fight. And I thought it was I thought he had won about 4 or 5 rounds. But they gave him like 3 rounds in the fight. But he couldn't win the fight anyway, you know? They had him so far down that I was glad I did stop the fight. But I stopped only because he was hurt.
Wow, well, that was a great story. I'm sure Ron's gonna enjoy that. Listen, we got another one to spice things up here. I'm sure to get my co-host back awake. He says,
Hold on, Brian. I ain't sleep now. I'm over here.
I know you're not. I know you're busy uploading content. I'm saying you haven't spoken.
Okay, just checking.
Spoken. But this one will get you excited because he says a lot of people give Crawford the Floyd Mayweather comparison. Ask Ronnie Shields, how does he view it?
I think Crawford has his own style. You know, Crawford, man, you know, if you look at Crawford, right, Crawford now, to me, is a better southpaw than the other right-hander. And coming up, he's always fought just right-handed. And then, you know, he starts switching a few, you know, like about 6-7 fights ago that I've seen, he starts switching. And that's the best thing that could have ever happened to him because, you know, he really screws guys' head up. You know, when you're trying to fight Terrence Crawford, you not only have to bring a good right-hander in, you got to bring a good southpaw in too. You need both, you know, because, you know, the kid is so good. I mean, you know, look, he's just a phenomenal fighter. He's so different from Floyd Mayweather. Floyd had his own style. Floyd was a combination puncher, couldn't punch at all. Crawford was a good puncher. Floyd wasn't. But at the same time, Crawford can, when he has to sit back and box, he can do that. But when he came forward, oh my God, he's such a good, strong fighter when he's coming forward. Floyd didn't have that. Floyd had the good side to side. You know, Floyd getting in the corner or on the ropes, and he had the good shoulder turns and combinations behind that. So that's the difference between the two. But style-wise, no, Crawford don't fight anything like Floyd Mayweather.
Let me ask you real quick. If this matchup ever happens, I gotta ask everybody: Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford.
Tough fight. Tough fight. You know, for me right now, I think it's a 50-50 fight. And the only reason I say that is because Terrence Crawford can go southpaw, and he's really good at it. But he's really good right-handed also. So, you know, between the switches, you know, Errol would have to, you know, catch him between the switches. And not only catch him, but he have to hurt him to try to make him stay either right-handed or southpaw so he can get things going. But, you know, but trust me, man, it's a big difference when you fight the right-hander that turns southpaw. Now, you know, you don't know what the power hand is. Is it still the right hand or is it the left hand? And the Terrence is both. He still can punch with both. So that's what makes him more dangerous when he switches than when he don't. So, you know, look, it'll be a tough fight. But the thing about Errol is a good body puncher. And he's always in shape and he's strong as hell. This kid can punch. And Terrence haven't ever been in a fight with a fighter like Terrence Crawford. I mean, yeah, Errol has never been in a fight like Terrence Crawford, and Crawford has never been in a fight like Errol Spence. So this is why you have to go down and look on this one because it's a tough fight to call. But if I had to pick one, I have to go with Errol Spence just for the simple reason that Errol throws a lot of punches, and he's a really accurate puncher. And once you got an accurate puncher that can punch with both hands, hard to beat.
Are you sure you just not going with him because y'all from Texas? I'm just playing with you, Ron. I'm just joking.
Ronnie, how great was Vernon Forrest, and how would today's competition be able to hang with them?
Man, I tell you, Vernon, he reminds me of Jermall. But Jermall's favorite fighter is Vernon Forrest. Jermall still watches a lot of Vernon Forrest fights. He's still going back and watch. See, Vernon was a big welterweight, but Vernon was a welterweight, you know, and he was a big welterweight. And man, you know, he had it all. I mean, Vernon was he was a throwback fighter. You know, he could do everything. And, You know, man, and it's just so crazy, you know, how his career went. You know, it shouldn't have went the way it went, because once he won the world title, you know, it's so, after we beat Shane Mosley twice, you know, the different thing, I'm not going to call names, but Vernon was listening to one of the best fighters in the world. And that was the wrong thing that he told Vernon to do, because our thing was, after Vernon beat Shane twice, the plan was to move up to 154 to fight Oscar De La Hoya. And, you know, and that was our plan. But Vernon was listening to this fighter that kept telling him, man, why would you want to do that and not unify all the belts first before you go up? But the guy didn't understand was Oscar was the main guy at 154 pounds. And we felt really good that Vernon could beat Oscar. So why not go ahead and go up and take over that division? So Vernon agreed to it at first, and then he came back and said, no, man, I want to unify all the belts. And we just felt that when he fought Mayweather, that was the wrong style for Vernon. You know, and see, and in the sport of boxing, you have to understand that certain fights, you don't need every fight. Especially if you're a champion. You don't need every fight. You don't need, you know, because boxing is a business. And when you put your heart away from the business, that's when bad things start to happen to you. And that's what happened with Vernon. And then he had back-to-back losses with me, and that caused us to split. That was the cause for the split right there between him and I. And, you know, but him and I was always friends. We stayed friends until the day he died.
I want here. We got another one. It says, "Oh, this was good because of Saturday's fight." So you worked with Evander Holyfield, and everyone is talking about obviously Alexander Usyk's performance versus Tony Bellew and the possibility of moving up. We had callers on our show last night saying things about, you know, Usyk being able to outbox both Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. What made Holyfield successful in his transition, and what would Usyk need to do to be able to compete at heavyweight?
Well, when Evander Holyfield a different beast, you know, and not every cruiserweight is going to be able to go up to heavyweight and win the world championship. It just don't work that way. You know, Evander Holyfield, you know, at the heart of a lion, you know, and he had boxing skills. But Evander could punch. And, you know, I think that's the difference between Usyk and Evander Holyfield. Although Usyk is a good southpaw, you know, I don't see him as a one-punch knockout kind of guy, you know. But that doesn't mean that he can't handle the heavyweight division. I mean, because when you look at it, Evander Holyfield had some big guys in front of him. He had Riddick Bowe, he had Lennox Lewis. You know, those are big guys, you know. And everybody else that was in the division was much better than Evander. So Evander had a skill set that so many fighters don't have today. And, you know, and his work ethic also comes to play. You know, with Usyk, you know, when I saw him fighting the WBSS final, you know, he boxed beautiful, you know. And the thing about it is that if you put on 20 pounds, you can't do that. That's going to slow you down. If he could keep what he had then and move around the way he does, he can give Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fits, because that style is hard to beat anybody. But if you get hit with anything, he's going to get knocked out, because these guys can punch, Wilder and Joshua. And he get hit with anything, he's going to get knocked out. That's as simple as that. And that's the difference between these cruiserweights. You have some cruiserweights who can fight and who can punch. But he has to have a really, really great chin. And I don't know if he can take the heavyweight power because he's not used to the heavyweight power. And he's at a point now where he's undisputed cruiserweight champion. You can't just go and take any fight. You can't just take a bum and think that's going to do it for you because they don't have the skills as a Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. So, it's a tough road for him, But if he can keep his boxing skills and move the way he moves, oh my God, he's going to be trouble for a lot of guys because he's going to be much faster.
We got another one coming from our pound for pound supporter, Andrade, New Jersey. He says, do you feel Houston can be a staple for mega boxing events with it being a large, diverse city and wealthy city, also known as oil and electricity? The economics in both Houston and Dallas can support major shows.
Yeah, well, he's right. We can support the major shows, but the problem is, man, like, I had this kid Juan Diaz. When Juan Diaz fought here, he damn near sold out the Toyota Center. The Toyota Center holds maybe 18 to 20,000 people. This kid did that, but he was Hispanic. Hispanics in Houston love boxing, but that's it. It doesn't seem like anybody else cares. And that's the problem that we have. But we're hoping with.
But Earl did
14. And doing,
Earl did 14,000 versus Ocampo.
No, he did. He did that in Dallas. But Dallas and Houston are two separate cities. Dallas and Houston are two separate cities. Earl has the thing about it is with Earl he's always fought in Dallas, number one. Number two is, he was an Olympian, number two. So, Earl do a lot of, everybody in Dallas, they really been behind Earl since the very beginning. Because Earl had a name coming up. And you have to make your name, like the man Jermall is doing right now. Right now, we wanted to put this fight December 22nd here in Houston. But here's the problem that we run into in Houston. High school football, high school basketball, college football, college basketball, the Houston Rockets, the Houston Texans. We run into all of that. And, sometimes it's hard to get the venue on the day that you want it because there's always something going on. Especially with people booking concerts. And, Houston is a popular town for everything, even boxing. But it's hard to get the venue at the time you need it. It's hard to get it. So, unless, you're fighting the big names, then, you're just not going to get it here. That's just the way Houston has always been. Even back when George Foreman was fighting, that's just the way it was. Larry Holmes came and fought here. And I fought on his undercard. I won the Larry Holmes undercard. And it did okay. It didn't do the best numbers, but it did okay.
All right, we got another one. Two more to go. One more from Christian the Magician. Well, first one from Christian the Magician. He says, what's your prediction for Wilder versus Fury?
Well, I think Fury is a good boxer, and he's not known to be a power puncher, but, all heavyweights basically can punch. But Fury is going to give him a lot of trouble early because he moves. Fury is a good mover. He got a good jab, and he'll keep Deontay out for a little bit. But, he can't keep that off the toy around. That's going to be his problem. His problem is when he stops and he has to throw punches at Deontay, that's going to be a problem because Deontay is a guy who can punch with both hands, and that's trouble. That's trouble for Fury. So I would say the second half of the fight is going to be all Deontay Wilder, and I predict Deontay stops him before the 11th round.
Now, how likely is a decision? Because no one expected Deontay to give Bermain Stavern that decision. If Bermain could go to a decision and Duhaupas can make it to 10 and Eric Molina could make it to 8 and Gerald Washington could win 4, like why?
Ortiz make it to 11.
Ortiz made it to 11. Why can't Tyson Fury, who's a way better boxer, at least with his feet, than all those guys?
Well, that's what I'm saying. With his feet, he's good with his feet, but you know he can't do it for 12 rounds. That's the problem. That's the problem. He's good, you know. He's going to be looking good the first 4 or 5 rounds, but when he stops and has to slow down to take a breath because he can't keep that up for 12 rounds, what you have to do? You have to fight, just like all these other guys had to fight, and once they get hit, it's over because Deontay got power in both hands. And let me tell you something. If Deontay is smart, if he's smart, you know, he won't go out there early and try to knock him out because then he loses all his power too because everything is killer. You know, he tried to kill you with every shot. You know, he got to be really smart. When Tyson Fury is on a move, Deontay has to use his jab. He has to jab with him and force Fury to stop. If he forces Fury to stop early and catch him with something, he turns the fight around right there. But he can't just let Fury just run around the ring and him chasing with power punches because that's not going to work. Deontay has to do something he ain't had to do yet. Cut a fighter off, you know? If he cuts him off and force him back into his power hand, you know what? Deontay can hit him and hurt him, and then it could be an easier fight. But just looking at all Deontay's other fights, he doesn't do that. You know, he's not a cut-off kind of guy. You know, he's the kind of guy that, you know, he wants you right in front of him so he can hit you. But with Tyson, that's a different story. So he got to make Tyson make mistakes. And in order to do that, Deontay has a great jab if he uses it. He has to really jab a lot in this fight for him to be able to keep up with the movement of Tyson Fury, to cut him off. If he does that, then it's going to be a long night for him. But again, if Tyson Fury can't keep that up for 12 rounds, he's going to get knocked out because as soon as he stops, then it's going to be trouble for him because Deontay is coming with both hands, and he's going to be swinging them from Mississippi and Georgia.
Ronnie, if Jay Diaz contacted you in the next couple of days and said, hey, can you send Efe to sparring? We need him for this last week for Deontay.
Nope.
Why not?
Nope. Because I don't want any of my guys to have sparring partner mentality. Something like that. Never.
So you don't think your guy can learn anything in a world-class camp?
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. Here's the thing. If I can't be there with him, no. If it's one of my up-and-coming stars, absolutely not. I will never send him by himself. If I was able to go with him, which I'm not, you know, if I was able to go with him, of course, yes, absolutely, I would send him. Absolutely, without a doubt. But I would never send him by himself.
Wait, and you mean you're
absolutely not?
You mean you're not? You mean you're not able because you obviously have to train Jermall, or you mean you're not able because you don't think they'll let you in?
Well, no. So they would have to let me in if I'm a fighter. They definitely have let me in. You know, but the thing about it is this. You know, I would love for my guy to get that kind of work. But why would I send him there without me? And who's going to teach him how to do whatever? They can't. No.
I'm not suggesting you send him. I'm not suggesting you send him alone. I'm just making it clear that, you know, they've always, the trainers are always there with the sparring partners. I've been to enough of Wild Discount. I was there twice already this month in October.
Oh, I would definitely let him go if I was able to go. Absolutely. I would definitely let him go. I talked to JD about that when Efe met Deontay. JD asked me, would he be available to respond? I said, just give me a call. I'm going to work it out.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So, who do you see as Efe's natural nemesis? Like, you said a year and a half from now, 2 years is when he'll be, coming at the top 5. Who's going to be in number 1 position? Is AJ still be there? Would Fury dethrone both men? Will it be Wilder? How do you see the heavyweight division? Who's out on top a year and a half from now?
In a year and a half from now, I think Joe Joyce will be up there definitely. Joe Joyce will definitely be up there, and I think Daniel Dubois, he probably be up there too. In 5 years, he'll be up there. I'm just talking about young. I'm not talking about champions right now, because in 5 years, in a year and a half, I think Wilder and Joshua will both still be champions. Because I don't see them fighting each other at all, which is a shame. Because that fight should be happening now, and it's not. But, look, it's a lot of good young heavyweights that's coming up. And, but I think Joe Joyce probably, for me right now, is probably the lead guy that's going to be at the top right there.
All right. So here we go with the last one from Info Joe in California. Out of all the great fighters you trained, what fighter did you enjoy the most working with?
Oh, man. I can't say just one because I had so much fun with everybody. But I would say probably Pernell Whitaker. He would probably be my number 1 choice right now. I would say Pernell Whitaker. Then I would say Evander Holyfield. And that's like neck and neck. Because I used to hang out with both of those guys. They always used to say that trainers and fighters should never hang out or whatever. But, I had so much in common with both of those guys that, we always hung out. And Vernon Forrest too, man. Vernon and I used to come to my house and stay here sometimes. And, and we just used to do everything together. And a guy that I trained for a little bit and I never wanted to train him was Arturo Gatti. Me and Arturo, Gatti, it's a quick story about Arturo Gatti. Me and Arturo Gatti were friends first. He used to come to all of our training camps. He trained there with his trainer, Hector Roca. And so Arturo and I, we used to hang out all the time. We had so much in common with him. We just, was friends. I was friends with Arturo. So as it's for real, start going, it got better and better and better. Him and his trainer fell out. And he came and asked me to train him for a fight. And I said, no, I'm not doing. I said, man, we just too good of friends. And I can't train you because you're not going to do what I want you to do. And I say, I can't do it. So, he begged me. And I said, all right, come on, man. I'll help you. And he fought, I think, for Joy Gamache. I may be wrong on that. I might be wrong. I think it was Joy Gamache. And this is why the IBF came up with that 10-pound rule. Because fight time, Arturo was like 20 pounds heavier than this dude. And I think this is why the IBF came up with that 10-pound makes their weigh in. So anyway, after that fight, he fought, and I forget, oh man, I killed myself because I can't remember the guy. He lost to 2 times in a row. And I didn't train him for the first one, but I trained him for the second one. And I told him after that, I said, man, that's it, I'm done. I said, I told him I can't train you. I said, we're just too close. I said, I can't do it. So then he asked me, well, who should I get? I said, man, you gotta go like the Buddy McGregor, somebody like that. It would be good for you because he teaches that style. I said, and he knows. And he did. He contacted Buddy, and that's how him and Buddy got together. And man, but I love working with all of the guys that I train. I got a personal bond with each and every one of them. And I just, this is just something that I've been doing damn near all my life. So I love all of that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. So those were the questions from our supporter. I guess I know, Mike, you got some stuff. If Ronnie, you got some time.
Yeah, I got some real just quick questions, man, just to give the people like a little
Come on, man, go ahead.
insight on kind of like your personality. And you got a lot of experience. So are you ready?
Let's go.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
When I was a kid, my favorite show was
shit.
mm-hmm.
Favorite show, Sanford and Son.
Great show, great show. The three most important things in my life are
My kids and boxing.
Mike, you there? He said his kids in boxing.
Oh, I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him. Sorry.
My wife, my kids in boxing.
The first thing I do in the morning when I wake up is
brush my teeth.
and my last one. Boxing has changed my life. How?
Oh man, boxing has changed my life. I've been all over the world because of boxing. I've met so many people around the world because of boxing. And I probably would have never
90 seconds
if it wasn't for the sport. So, and boxing is my world. So it changed my life in so many different ways, but in all positive ways.
So Ronnie, clear up this Erislandy Lara getting out of the VADA anti-doping program with the WBC. He's got out the rankings.
60 seconds.
So now he doesn't get a shot at Charlo.
He never. Okay. Listen. He never got out of the VADA drug program. He never did that. That was a bold-faced lie by the WBC. Here's what happened. We got offered right after Lara fought Jared Hurd. A week or two afterwards, they got his manager, Louis Cooper, got offered to fight Castano. And so the Coopers told the manager of Castano to just, write down, he don't want to think about
10
it
seconds.
because he just finished this hard-ass fight with Jared Hurd. So we could talk about it, give us a month or two, call me back, talk about it, no problem. So he did. So those Coopers called the WBC because they asked that Lara fight Julia Williams for the number one in WBC. But Erislandy had already signed a contract to fight Castano. So he didn't want to give up that. He already got a signed contract. So why? So the Coopers said, look, he called Fullerman, WBC, and said, look, could you take Erislandy out of the rankings because we want to allow somebody else to go ahead on and fight because we're going to be fighting in the WBA for Castano. We're fighting Castano. We already signed the contract. All of a sudden, they come back and say, oh, they had to get out of the Nevada program. That's not true. He never, ever asked to get out of the Nevada program. He asked to get out of the rankings so somebody else can have an opportunity to fight for the mandatory. And that's all it was.
Well,
Nothing more than that.
I guess those are all mines. I'll be seeing you bright and early. So I want to thank you for your time. I don't know if Mike, you have anything else?
No, sir. No, sir. I want to thank you for your time too. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, everything else we'll get on
No
camera
problem,
tomorrow.
man. Have fun.
Yeah, everything else we'll get on camera tomorrow in Houston. Thank you again, Ronnie, and see you mañana.
Okay, man. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, call.
Well, there you have it. Live with Ronnie Shields. Don't forget to head on over to patreon.com and click on the Ask Ronnie Shields post, Ask Efe Ajagba post. And I'll probably set up a Charlo in case I bump into him, but he is scheduled to be doing a PBC event. That being said, if you enjoyed the show, hit the thumbs up button. We're going to go out to some callers. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time and voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
And don't forget to head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/store and use our coupon code just for you, the number 4 and the letter U, and get 20% off all TBV swags, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts. I mean, if you're from the UK, we got the Boxing Voice UK. You're from the Ireland, we got Boxing Voice for the Ireland people from Irish, who's Irish. We got Dominican flags. We got everything. You a FA fan? Get the Nigerian flag. You know what I'm saying? You Honduran? Get the Honduran flag. And we got plenty of different designs. This is actually a TBV shirt you can find over there. So head on over.
You don't want to be that guy that goes to Wilder Fury or Canelo Fielding and don't have the proper TBV attire. You don't want to be that guy. Like, what the fuck is he wearing? Why doesn't he have TBV on? Let's go.
I mean, if one of these fighters sees the TBV shirt, first thing's gonna happen is they're gonna either let you take a picture with them or they're gonna smack you. So it's up to you. At least you're gonna be witnessed. You know what I mean? So let's get out to Marcus in DC after the.
Hey, you ain't hit that. Okay.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Marcus,
what's good? Yo, man, great interview, man. I always love when Ronnie comes on, man. He drops that science, man. Yo, I was just listening, man. I had called on to the call late, but let me ask you a question. What did he say about, you were saying something to him about, well, I heard what he said about Lara, but he said anything about Charlo upcoming opponents after the 22nd, how he feel about Jermall. Do he feel like Jermall had been getting the short end of the stick without getting a championship shot? I ain't hear any of that, so if y'all can let me in, I listen on.
Yeah, he was like Charlo's focusing on Willie Amiro, and he wants the Triple G fight, but it doesn't seem like Triple G wants it, so they're not going to chase him. And also the same thing with Canelo. He wants the WBC to do their job and call for the mandatory, so his guy Charlo can get his crack at Canelo. And he also said there will be no negotiation. It's going right to purse bid because Charlo is the interim champion, so he'll get 50-50.
Damn, 50-50. That's how you do a deal, baby. That's how you do a deal. You imagine that shit? Either Al gonna pay big money to have that on Showtime or Fox. I mean, Al could win that purse bid. He could spend $5-10 million on that purse bid because they could do that pay-per-view. Let's be honest. If you win the purse bid for Canelo, you know what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen? Canelo gonna have to duck. He gonna have to drop that belt, or DAZN gotta let him go for one fight.
Got to.
Al could just put that shit on pay-per-view.
Oh, no, they ain't gonna let him go. They're gonna do a joint.
Nah, not if you win the first bid. Ain't no joint.
Oh, okay.
A joint.
Yeah, you're right.
An agreement before the purse.
Yeah, you're right.
First bid, whoever wins gets the motherfucking run the show.
How much did Golden Boy get from the zone? They might throw a little purse bid out there to like keep him.
Andre Diakonu, the itinerary for the week, man, I'm just going for one day, in and out. Houston early in the morning, and I'll be back very, very late. I get back into town like 1 a.m. In and out, man. Going to see the Nigerian Nightmare, Efe Ajagba, and check out my main man, Ronnie Shields. We were supposed to link up with Jermall, but he's got a PBC thing. Hopefully they cancel it. I don't know, whatever. You know, I'm going to get with some of Jermall's peoples. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe I could bump into him late. I booked the latest flight out in case anything opens. I did contact some other heavyweights in the area, so I might have some surprises. If you're a Patreon member, you already know. We'll put the Axe blank fighter who's going to be a surprise questionnaire, guest, whatever you want to call it. Head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice and join the movement. Remember, this is a fan-driven show, so your thumbs up, they help. Your 5-star reviews, they help. And if you want to help, you know, head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com/affiliate sponsors. Click on that hyperlink whenever you're doing your Amazon shoppings. Save that hyperlink. Bookmark that hyperlink. Share that hyperlink. Send that shit to your moms. Say, moms, do your shopping through here too and help my boys at TBV. Because with every little kickback Amazon gives us because you used our hyperlink, you know, I wouldn't be going to fucking Houston alone. It'd be me and Mike. Me and Mike. Mike got his own interview style. He always asks people about what chocolate chips or Doritos and shit like that.
I'm gonna ask the shit that motherfuckers really care about.
That's right.
What are you eating?
I can't do it alone anyway. And then look, I got Derek James on the text right here. He just opened up a new gym. He like, what you doing in Houston? I'm like, yo, I'm trying to see them dudes. You know what I'm saying? But I could maybe do something and take that 4-hour ride to Dallas if shit looking sexy. It just all depends. But you know, you need to support the movement so that these 4-hour trips from Dallas to Houston are even possible, man. Anyway, I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Me and Mike gonna be doing this on a daily, like we're doing our morning show on a daily. So if you haven't checked that out, head on over to youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get those notifications whenever me and Mike decide to go live. Plus, you can obviously check out the most latest show that we did at 9 a.m. But yeah, that's GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Mike.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Groth2312 or on IG at Groth1911 and be on the lookout tomorrow. I got some interviews with Jessica McCaskill, hopefully Rob Brandt. Also, I got an interview with Dimitri Aslito that's going to be uploaded here shortly. Also, I got an interview with Derek Webster. He's a 28-1 super middleweight, and he has called out Calvin Smith. He said he wants to be his mandatory. So I got a lot of little things coming out, and it's more that I just can't think of the names right now. But definitely stay tuned.
Peace
out.